Hello, everyone. Welcome to MT4Professional's presentation. It is a live class on trading strategies using the MT4Professional platform. I'm Randy Lindsay, your host today. Joining me is Claudio in the background. I'll remind you that we are here for educational purposes only, that MT4Professional and Resilient Traders are not investment advisory service. We're not registered advisor brokers. We are also not broker dealers, so we do not purport to give you any specific advice. We do not suggest any specific securities or currencies to purchase or sell. Trading futures, stocks, Forex, options, cryptocurrencies has a large potential for reward, but also carries a large potential for risk. You need to be aware of the risks involved and be willing to accept them in order to trade or invest in any of these markets. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so please make sure you get advice from a competent financial advisor before you start trading or investing in any of these markets, and don't trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. Only use risk capital, not anything that you have specifically saved up for savings or retirement. Only risk capital can be involved in these trades. All right, so moving on. Again, I'm Randy Lindsay. I am your trade coach, operations director here at MT4Professional. And joining me is Claudio Cardinal. He is our product development director and all things technology guru. If you have any questions with regards to the platform and its use, then you direct those questions to me. Otherwise, if you're having issues or any specific problems technically related to getting things going, then I usually elevate it to Claudio. In today's class, we're going to talk about trading strategies using MT4Professional. We're going to ask you what a market scanner is, and then we're going to give it an answer, and we're going to show you a very good and live demonstration of the MT4Professional system. I'll make you a very special offer toward the end of today's presentation. Of course, there's always going to be questions provided with answers throughout the presentation. So let's get right into it. Many popular trading strategies are out today. We're going to be going over quite a few of them. The EMA and price is the probably the most leading edge one. MACD and signal. The moving average crossover, that's the popular one where most people are looking at moving averages that show directional intent of the markets. The EMA and price, MACD, a signal with RSI, that's one where we've kind of put them all together to show you the capabilities of the system. The ever popular alligator system, which is comprised of three different moving averages that look at overall trend and direction for longer term swing type trading. You know, the MT4Professional scanner can scan in real time all of these strategies plus many more, specifically using your own indicators, your own strategies, your own reasons, and will alert you when any of the conditions are met for these signals. So let's get into a poll real quick. Claudio, I think you have a few polls set up for us today. How can the market scanner best benefit you? If you're using a scanner, what benefit would you gain from that? Would it be less risk of missing trades? Would it be less time wasted searching for setups? Would it be giving you a better chance for finding high probability trades? Or maybe you just don't know because you've never used a scanner before. Submit your answer. As soon as we have a certain percentage of our class that give answers, then we'll end the poll and present the results and move on to the next one. I think there's only two polls, actually. There might be more. Yeah, it looks like most people just don't want to waste their time. And that's true because our time is valuable. And that's the one I selected as well. So, and a better chance of finding high probability trades is a close second. So absolutely true on that. And we'll definitely help you answer, and so that the by the end of the presentation, you should know how the market scanner can best benefit you. Next poll. There it is. All right. So when we're looking at strategies and of the ones that we're going to go through today, which one of these best interests you? The moving average and price interaction, the MACD and signal crossovers, where you're looking at the signal line versus the histogram. You're looking at the alligators, just any moving average crossover. So it's two moving averages interacting with each other, or any other strategies that you might have developed yourself or that you might be using. All right, so it looks like MACD and signal. That's the one I picked also. So it looks like we're kind of in the same boat. A moving average crossover, EMA and price equal weighted. So we'll spend some time initially on the MACD, and then we'll look at the other two as well. I really like the EMA and price because it's just clean, but we'll go through that for sure. All right, so what is a market scanner? What is MT4Professional? If you're looking at a scanner, and if you have 20 different CFDs, 50 different Forex pairs, 9 different time frames, if you combine all those together, that's over 630 combinations to check. And undoubtedly, you're probably going to miss quite a few trade opportunities. And most people, unless you're Superman, of course, but most people just can't handle that volume of trade opportunities. You're going to miss some. Well, today, trading with different instruments is important, and it's a must because trading uncorrelated instruments is the best way to remove uncertainty and to diversify your portfolio. You don't want to trade all, euro instruments. You don't want to trade all US dollar instruments. You want to diversify. You want to get in when the getting is good and get out when it's over. That's the whole idea behind it. So diversification, removing uncertainty, and trading uncorrelated instruments. That's the idea. That's the path to profitability. And that's the idea you want to get behind that. So a scanner is a perfect solution for something like that. A scanner is an automatic tool. Automatic, I say, in that it does all the hard work for you. It allows you to scan the entire market at a single glance for any symbol or time frame with your own custom rules based on your own indicators or the standard ones that you're using. So it's not a signal provider, but it's a tool that gives you the ability to analyze your strategies, apply them to the market using any indicator that you want to use. One example is a moving average crossover. So we have two simple moving averages, a 15 period and a 30 period. When the 15, which is the fast, moves over or above the 30 slow, we consider that a bullish cross. So bullish cross, we would identify being green. A bearish cross, red, would be when the 15 period moves below the 30 period moving average. It's usually mostly simple for most people to understand. And if we were to represent that graphically, like on a spreadsheet, then for every symbol and for every time frame, we would have a color code designation showing us whether we are bullish or bearish on that market based upon the moving average cross. So if we have bullish crosses or bearish crosses, these are going to highlight and identify those as potential signals. Every time these trigger, we want to be alerted knowing that there's a trade opportunity available there based upon whatever our strategy or rules are. So this is an overview of what a market scanner could potentially do for us. And I mentioned multiple time frames. Well, did you know that trading with multiple time frames gives you a higher probability of profitable trade? And that's due to correlation. If you're looking at the longer term trend, the shorter term trend has a whole lot of noise built into it based upon that. So There's a lot of corrections involved in these faster time frames, but the longer time frame is very consistent in its direction and movement. And so if you're trading in the direction of the longer term trend, you're going to have a higher probability of success because you're trading in direction of that longer term movement. If you're trading against the longer term trend, then I highly recommend that you take your profit targets very soon, because those shorter trends are going to end moving back in line with the longer term trend. So that's the whole idea behind it. So by checking multiple timeframes before you initiate a trade, your trades will be in harmony with the longer term trend, and the result will be higher probability, lower risk. And that's the goal. That's what we really are targeting, because we are, as traders, we are managing probabilities, and we are trading the probabilities and we are managing the risk. We want to trade high probability trades, and we want to have the lowest possible risk, because we always want to have money in the market. We always want to have money to trade. So we have to do that. So we're trading the probabilities and we're managing the risk. So if we had a market scanner that could search for these types of setups based upon our own rules and verified with multiple time frame analysis, it would be an extremely valuable tool. So why do we pick MT4 and MT5? Well, there are a lot of other professional platforms out there that have built-in market scanners. Probably not all of them have technical scanners, but only a lot of brokers only work with MT4 and MT5. As a matter of fact, most of the brokers in the Forex world around the world use the MT4, MT5 platform, giving us access to really good commission rates and a lot of different instruments. Also, there are a lot of good standard indicators already developed for MT4 and MT5, and a lot of really good custom indicators have been implemented as well. So these are really good reasons why we selected MT4 or MT5 for our platforms. But the problem we ran into is there are no scanners we could find that met our criteria as traders. They were usually too complex, which required high programming skill, unstable, which made them unusable, a single tool that really didn't integrate with the entire system, or they were incompatible with a lot of the standard indicators, which is unacceptable. And there are a lot of other issues. So our solution was to create our own. So we decided to make MT4Professional for our own selves and our own daily trading. Well, now it's the #1 market scanner on MT4 and MT5, a tool that allows you to scan the market for any setups that match your own unique rules and criteria. And when you do find one, it gives you the capability of multiple time frame technical analysis, which really isn't too easy to do on MT4 or MT5, but we make it easy for you. So stay tuned. We're going to go through a live demonstration now to show you that. And of course, if you have any questions during this presentation, make sure you enter them in the chat box or in the question and answer panel on your Zoom control. And I'll be monitoring those, and I'll be glad to answer them during our presentation today. All right, here is a standard MT4 setup. Notice when I went full screen that the windows just stayed plastered where they were. All right, I have to physically move them, or I could go under the window and tile them if I wanted to change the size. And then if I went back to minimized back, notice it clipped all my windows. So I'm going to have to go back over here and rearrange them to move them back around again. Okay, that's a little bit cumbersome. Or say, for example, I wanted to go and look at multiple charts. So here I have windows, which are all different sizes. I've got 2 separate sizes here and 3 different sizes here. So if I were to go full screen, I cannot hit the window tile button because there's nothing here that would automatically retile these and keep the same size of windows that I want to do. So I'm forced to manually resize each of these windows in order to create them. I don't like that. Oh, that's just too slow for me. and especially if I'm bouncing back and forth between window sizes, or if I hit the F11 key and go full screen. See that? It's just very cumbersome. Also, I like multiple time frame analysis. So if I'm 15, 30, and hourly chart, and I want to see where I am right now, then I can look on this chart here, but notice I don't have any reference on any of the longer time frame charts except for looking down at the time or the price on the right axis or the lower bottom axis. Remembering that time, moving over to this chart, doing the same thing, finding the time, and then moving over to this chart, remembering it and finding the time. So, and then even when I do find it, it's, it's slow and kind of tedious. There's really no way to easily do multiple time frame analysis here on standard MT4. So let's pull up MT4 Professional really quickly. Oh, before I do that, I want to show you also, if I want to change the symbol on this chart or this chart or this chart or any of these other charts, I have to physically go over to my market watch and I have to drag and drop the symbol onto the chart I wanted to trade. Or I have to hit enter and then at the bottom of the screen, enter the symbol that I want to trade and hit return, and in order to get that fixed in. So I physically have to type in either 6 characters or drag and drop these pairs onto the charts. Okay, again, a little bit clunky, but it works. So let's launch MT4 Professional. First thing you'll see is a configurations window and a blank switch screen. So this is asking you which configuration do you want loaded. So the presets are the ones that come with the software originally. So you have 14 different presets here that are available to you to get going, to help you get started and to make sure that you have plenty of examples on setting up your own scanner, your own chart layouts and stuff. So I'll go up here and look at this. We were looking through and we wanted to see the, what was it? The MACD and signal. Here's the MACD and signal right here. That's on an hourly and 4 hour. Here I have a what's called my MACD. I think I've integrated a bunch with those. Let me pull this one up and see what it looks like. Yeah, there we go. I've got MACD. It looks like I have momentum loaded in with it as well. Got it on 3 different time frames, 15, 30, and hourly. Here's a 15, 30, and hourly chart. And looks like I've got a 4-hour chart down here as well, just for a longer term purpose. First thing I want you to notice is the blue crosshairs that you see. Notice that they are synced all the way across the screen. So if I'm on my hourly chart and I move, you can see that it automatically tracks on all of the time frames. So when I can see the bottom here, or when I see the bottom here, then I can look over at the other time frames and find out where the alignment occurs. Or when I'm getting a cross right here, when price crosses over my moving averages, then I want to see if that cross is in line with the longer term. You can see I have a close greater than the moving average, but not the second one. Here, the same time frame, likewise. And here you can see I'm still very much bearish. So depending upon what it is that you're looking at, you can see the alignment all the way across to see even where your MACDs are crossing. So it's really beautiful to see that you're trading. You don't want to take long trades. You want to take these short trades because they're in line with the longer term trend. That's the idea behind it, because the longer term trend has been here for quite some time. If you're taking any of these longs, then you probably ended up with failure. But if you took any of the shorts, then you probably got at least 10 to 20 pips out of each of these moves. So that's the idea behind multiple time frame analysis. Second thing I want to show you is I'm going to hit my F11 key, which is going to go into full screen mode. And I'm going to expand my screen. Notice that the window automatically fills all of the space available. That is sweet. I don't have to worry about redrawing anything. So if I were to go and move that back down again, move it back up again, hit F11 again. See that? That's just nice. I really, really enjoy that. Also, if I want to change the symbol, say that I'm looking here at the dollar Canadian, because it's just as bullish as the US dollar, all I have to do is click on my symbol list and it automatically changes all of my windows to this symbol I'm interested in. That's the whole idea behind the trade. Okay. Nice. Any questions so far before we move on? All right. Well, you can see on the left-hand side here in the scanner that I have 3 columns, 15, 30, and hourly. And then the rows are each represented by a different symbol. So these are telling me whether I'm bullish or bearish based upon the MACD signal. So you can see the MACD right here has a signal line and a histogram. Whenever the histogram is greater than the MACD, we consider that to be bullish. And whenever the histogram is less than the signal line, we consider that to be bearish. So this is bullish, this is neutral, this is bearish, neutral, bullish, bearish, bullish, and so forth. And so the cross that we're looking at, trying to identify that right here, all right, this is the first point that we're saying we want to be bullish in this market. We have a cross over our moving averages as well. So that's like a secondary criteria. But if all we're doing is looking at the MACD, then we want to see that cross right there. So how are we going to identify that? So let's go and look at our configuration. Click the edit button and you'll see a display that comes up. On the right-hand side, you'll see the configuration button for your charts. So if you click on this, then this will allow you to set up the charts just the way that you want them to be. Every time you load the configuration, the charts will always come up looking just like this with the template that you load and any time frame that you want to load it on. Now, these templates are any template you've already configured, or you can click the plus sign and select from any template that you have access to on your MT4 or MT5 platform. Okay. So I have the MACD template loaded on all 4 of my charts. That's why they all look the same. Over on the left-hand side is your symbol list and scanner configuration. You click on that button, and then you can configure your symbol list on the left, configure your scanner over on the right. When you click the scanner button, then you'll see the different time frames corresponding to the different columns. Let me go ahead and close this out so we can see it. I'll open it up so we can see these columns. So we have the different columns, and then we have the different symbols, and these are the colors specified by the color rules that we're going to be loading up. Okay. So these are this panel. Let me select this, select that. So I have the 15-minute column, the 30-minute column, and then down here, you can see I have an hourly column. If you want to see all of them at the same time, just make your window a little bit bigger and you can see them all in one glance right there. When we go through and configure these, we can set the time frame just by moving this down. Or if we want to give that column a different name other than M15, which is the time frame, then you can enter that name right here if you want. It's not required, but you can put in any name here to name this column something that you specifically want to name it. And notice that the columns are showing colors only without any data. Well, if you want to show the output of the indicator that you are using, then you can put that right here. So this allows you to select an indicator that will print the output, like the relative strength or the momentum or something of that nature, the volume. You can print the actual value of those outputs right here on background. And the cell will still be the same color, but the text on the cell will be displayed based upon the indicator you give it. So the color rule, that's the meat of the trade. The color rule are the rules that you follow in order to cause the cell to be green, red, blue, purple, orange, whatever color you want. We just have 2 colors here, one green, bullish, one red, bearish. You can make it blue, you can make it magenta, it doesn't really matter. pull this down, you see that the trade signal has been turned on with the little check mark, and there's a little pencil edit icon on the right. If you click that, then you can see what the rules actually are that cause the cell to change colors. First condition is always checked first. It comes in and it looks at this condition and asks the question, is the MACD, comparing item A, which MACD? It's the MACD base indicator line. So that's the histogram. Is the MACD histogram less than or equal to the MACD signal line? So is the histogram less than or equal to the signal line? Remember what I was showing you before, that if the histogram was ever less than the signal line, then I want it to be bearish. I want it to be red. So that's the color I selected here. You can pick any color you want, but in this case, red is my designation for bearish. So if the MACD histogram is less than that signal line, I want the signal to be triggered red. If that is not true, then it automatically switches to this condition set. So it's this or this. So you say, yes, okay, was this true? No, okay. Or it's going to go right to this one. So it's not going to be both. It'll just be one or the other. If this one's true, it never looks at this one. But this one's false, it goes right to the next operation. And then it asks, well, then if the MACD isn't less than the signal line, I want to check to see if that same MACD is greater than the signal line, just to verify that it is true. If it's anytime it's less than or equal to, I'm in a bearish condition. But if it's greater than, I want it to be bullish, which means I want it to be green. If neither of these are true, which there's never a situation it won't be, then it would default to a yellow color. But I give it the name trade signal, give it any name that you want. And you can put a short description here for what these rules are. Now you see that there is a indicator that's been loaded here. If I want to change the parameters on this indicator, like you don't want the standard 12, 26, 9, if you, instead of it being on the close of price, you want it to be on the average price or something of that nature, then just click the pencil, and that allows you to edit all of the parameters associated with whatever indicator that you're using. So, and then the mode identifies which output that you're using from the indicator. This specific indicator has two outputs. One is the base indicator line, and the second is the signal line. So notice that I have two separate indicators loaded here, the MACD indicator line, and then I loaded it again with the MACD signal. Okay, so when I say load, that means I hit the plus sign, I choose the indicator that I'm interested in. So notice that I have a moving average here. This moving average is, I don't know, what is it? I'll just make it up. Let's select the indicator, trend. It's a moving average. I'm going to use that indicator. It's a 15 period. I'll call it an exponential averaging moving average. Okay, I could make it smooth or linear weighted, but I'll just call it an exponential moving average based upon the close of price. The indicator shift means 1 means that's the most recently closed bar. It's not the current bar, which would be 0. It's the most recently closed bar. It's the current close. So notice it automatically replaced what I was looking at. I don't want to do that. I want to keep that as my indicator line. But what I want to do is I want to add a second indication here. This moving average, 15 period moving average has to be less than, in this case, we're going to call it, I guess it's the 30 period. I'm just making these numbers up. You want to make them the same as what you have on your chart here, of course, but I'll make that one the 30. So now I've got my 15 period has to be less than my 30. So a MACD cross and moving average gives me another confirmation. So both of these have to be true in order for this condition to be met. If either of these are not true, it would return a default yellow color. then we do the same thing over here. We want to see the bullish side. So let's see if that 15 period moving average is greater than our 30 period. Then that would be an additional condition we could apply to our moving average. Okay, it's very simple, very easy to set up. And if you have other conditions, multiple conditions, then you can very quickly add another condition here by clicking the plus sign, giving it another color, maybe giving it another identifier, setting it up so that you can do this if it's not that, or it's that. So you have three, you can have three multiple conditions, and you can delete it at any one time. So there's no programming involved at all. You're just selecting what you already have available, just the way that you would use it, and apply it on your charts. Philip wanted to know, can it be programmed to alert, ignore, select only the second or third price crossover? Yeah, you can set it up to look at whichever you're interested in. If you only want the second or third price over, then you can select those. But if you wanted to make it a little more complicated, then you can input multiple color rules. So in this case, the 15-minute, you're looking at the MACD. The 30-minute, maybe you want to not look at the MACD, you want to look just at the moving average cross of the second or the third crossover. And in that case, you would add an additional color rule. Here, you're going to call this one, say your EMA Crossover. In this case, first condition, we're looking at a, there it is, bearish condition. So these are just the MACDs. I don't have to load those in because I didn't use them. Moving average, 15 period, I'll leave these as simple. And then the second condition, I want to make this one a moving average, which is 30, simple to close. So I want to see that that 15 is less than the 30. And in the second case, I want to make it bullish. In this case, I want to see if the 15 is greater than 30. Done. So now I've got a moving average crossover that gives me red or green based upon that. If it's equal to or anywhere in between, it'll come back out as yellow. Okay, I click OK. See, now on my time frame, my 30-minute, I've got both, but I don't want the MACD for the 30-minute. I only want to see that the crossover is there. So I just turned it off. So now you can see that I have my trade signal set up on the 15, but I've got my moving average cross only here on the 30. If I tick this box right here, then you will get real-time notifications when these conditions, either of these conditions, are met on either of the time frames. So you can get a couple of notifications at the same time. Make sure that you verify and set up your phone number if you want to receive SMS messages as well during the setup. This turns on the notifications within MT4 and on our members website. Let me pull that up for you real quick to show you. If you log into the members area, become a member, and you log in, not only can you download the software, you can go through all of our onboarding steps with very easy, quick links to go through those. Make sure that you go to our documentation and help center here on step 6. If you go over to the notifications bell right up here, then you can see each of these scanner notifications right here on your screen as a clickable link that will come up with the scan that you're looking at, what symbol, what the time frame was that generated the alert, and then an ability to link on that to get a snapshot of the scanner and the chart that generated that system. While you're here, you can also check your announcements to see when new software releases are put out, or if there's any information that we want to communicate to you on that. Right. So Philip, did I answer your question? No, I did not. Okay, so maybe if you could say it differently, then maybe I'll be a little bit more clear on that. Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this out because I don't want to save these onto my configuration here. All right, one other thing. Notice that on the chart here, on the bottom right-hand corner of the edit button is a share icon. The share icon allows you to share the configuration that we've just created with anyone else if you're working with them. So if you type in or you know their email address or the character's name. All right, see, so there are 4 different Lindsays that are here, but if you're looking specifically for one specific person, then you can select that person and send the configuration file you just created to that person. Okay. My name didn't come up because it won't allow you to send it to yourself. So it's a great feature, the Traders Network, to share all the configurations. And I wanted to also let you know that that all of your configurations are backed up and saved in the cloud. So you never have to worry about losing any data or any configurations or any of the work that you've already put in. Next one we wanted to look at was the EMA and price. Let's see here. I think I've got all my EMA and prices all messed up with examples and stuff, but I think this one has the ADX. That one's got the Ichimoku on it. Let me just load this one up and see what it did. Yeah, that one I got all messed up as well. All right, so let me go in and configure that, change it. Is this one the one? Yeah, that was it. Just wanted to make sure. Edit chart. Yeah, so I've got different ones. So I'm going to pull up the EMA 2050 here. Save that. And then reload it. And there I'm back. There, it looks a little bit better. So I've got 15 and 30. I've got scan. I'm scanning a 30, 15, and an hourly. So I'm going to get rid of my hourly scan. Very easy and quick to do. So pull up my scanner configuration. I've got 3 different scans pulled up. All I want to get rid of is, see the color rules I set up a secondary color rule for that one. I'm just going to go ahead and remove that because I'm only looking at the main color rule for my first 2 charts. I select OK and save it and then reload it. And then I'm only looking at just the 2 time frame charts that I'm interested in. This looks like EMA and price, but it looks like it has 2 separate moving averages running on there. So it looks like I've got a couple of rules that I'm loading in here. Oops, I hit load instead of edit. My bad. Let's look at the color rule for that. Edit. Yep, I do. So I've got a moving average cross. I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. And I'm looking at the current price relative to a 20-period exponential moving average. So I'm looking for that cross to be a bullish cross. So that price, if that's a bullish cross, why is price less than? That should be greater than. Moving average, the fast has to be greater than the slow, and price has to be over the fast moving average. Likewise, the moving average has to be less than the 50 and price has to be less than the 20. Moving in that direction. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there was a reason why I had that switched over there. I think we were looking for the crossover points. if it came once it came back over, then it was a high probability reversal from that point. So maybe that's what we were looking for. I'm not sure, but I'll set it up to be this way. That, say okay and save. Close it back down and load it. And now each one of these signals are going to be giving us something where, in this case, 15-minute, you can see that the price has closed below the moving average, but the fast has not crossed under the slow. So that's a neutral. The 30-minute, you can see that the 30-minute, you definitely have the fast under the slow and the price has closed below the fast. So that is clearly bearish in this case. So it's just showing you graphically what the number crunching is going on behind the scenes. All right, so before we get out of time, I want to give you a presentation. If you're not already part of MT4 Professional, I want to give you a chance to join the family and be part of the crowd. So let me pull the offer up really quickly, and then I can go right back into our Q&A. So for the time of the presentation today, you can see I've shown you the entire full-featured MT4 Professional system. It fully works on MT5 as well. You get access to both. You get access to our exclusive Skype community, where other MT4 professional traders are interacting either daily, weekly, or on a monthly basis. You get access to an unlimited configuration storage, unlimited number of emails and push notifications, and up to 100 SMS notifications every month. You can always increase that each month. It's just going to cost a little bit more than the standard rate. You get 14 pre-configured presets ready to go right off the bat. Of course, you're not going to be paying $22.95. This is just a total real world value of what we believe the system is worth. If you part of my class today, then for a limited time, we've set this up as $194 a month. You don't want to pay that either. $97 a month is half of the regular monthly price that we've established as a fair value market for MT4 Professional. $97 a month gives you 14 days free trial before any money is ever taken out of your credit card. If you want to get started right now, click the link mt4professional.com/trial. I think Claudia will be putting it in the message box there. If not, then I think I'll copy it here. There you go. Thank you, sir. Click on that link, mt4professional.com/trial to get started. You can start today, download your software, and within 10 minutes or less, you're going to be using the system and setting up your own configurations and scans. 14 days to evaluate the full software package. You can cancel anytime in the 14-day period. You won't be charged a penny, but you'll still get to use the full 14-day trial. However, if you cancel, then you lose the discounted price and you go back to the standard pricing that we have set up. During the trial, if you have any specific questions at all, then you can contact us at support@mt4professional.com. We'll generate a ticket and we promise we'll get back to you in 24 hours or less to answer any of the questions that you might have. Okay, there. Support@mt4professional.com. All right, I'll leave this up on the screen and I'll pull my charts back up. I just love that. So if there are any specific questions, then I'll be glad to go over those right now. I think there was one earlier. I think Philip had a question. If you only want to see a bounce of the price on the EMA/MACD, etc., how do you process it on one time frame? All right, so you're looking for the interaction of the price with the EMA. So that's what we just went through. you're looking to see if that moves less than or greater than. Now, the close of price versus the price itself is what you're looking for. So it'll have to be a little bit more logic than just saying, okay, price is greater than, and then you're looking to see if price is less than. Probably what you want to see is, did price close? Let me turn this off. Oh, wrong one. All right. There. See how price came back down, and in this case here it came up and crossed over. You're looking to see when this crosses back down below. So the idea of the crossover in this region right here is to see how price interacts with that. So if you're looking for the entire bar, the open and the close have to be greater than the moving average. All right. That only occurred twice right here, the open and the close. One was a red bar, the other one was a green bar. Then you got a close and open, which was straddling it. So once you see a complete bar close over and then a complete bar close under, that's what you're looking for. And so you can look for the open or the close, both to be greater than or less than your moving average. Otherwise, it's just straddling it. You do that very simply. So under your configuration, you have full access to the rule set. So looking at price, in this case, we're going to be looking at, sorry, clicked the wrong one. Indicator, price. Which price? I want to look for the open. So I want the open indicator to be greater than this moving average, 20, and I want the close price greater than that moving average. All right, so both the open and the close have to be greater than your 20 period. What price is doing is it's looking at the current price relative to that. So it's kind of looking at the same thing, but this one's saying that both have to be there. So this one's kind of redundant. So you want to see that the moving average crossed the slow, and you want to see that both your open and your close are greater than. So you're not really limited on the structure of how you're looking at it. Stuart want to know, does this work? Absolutely, it works. Absolutely. A lot of people are using this. So looking at the setups and stuff, you can see, looking at the 30-minute, notice how the 30-minute crossed under. Here's your first full bar, but the first price close that came under came right here. But notice that the slow never crossed below the fast. So anytime you've got to close above the price line, that gives you a bullish indication, the moving average never crossed. So you're not looking for this. This is a false breakout, and you're not going to take the long trade. You're waiting for the continuation trade right here. Price crossed below in line with the longer term trend. This is where you want to take the trade. So from this point here, all the way down to this point right here, even a cross below the high, you still don't have the move below. So this is, even though it's going into a sideways motion, doesn't meet the criteria for your trade to stop. However, you might have a continuation rule or a profit take rule that says whenever I get a close above my slow moving average, when I'm in a strong trend like this, maybe that would be the point that I would want to be looking at profits. And so that's looking like about 207 points or pips that you're looking at on this trade. All right, so that's the idea behind the trade. And that's the idea behind using MT4Professional, because it shows you when this occurs. It gives you the signal when this alignment occurs. So you're not going to miss that trade. You can see when it goes above, and then you can see when it goes back below. You can see when these cross and when they don't. So if you never get a cross, you're never going to get a signal to take this as a long. However, you will get the signal to add to or take this as a short. That's the whole idea behind it. You'd still be in this trade if you were looking at the cross of the moving averages. But you could have taken profit in the trade if you were looking at the price interacting with the longer term and not the shorter term. It's up to you. It's whatever your rules define. Are there other questions, or is there another setup or a specific criteria that you would like me to show or demonstrate on the screen here while we've got a few more minutes in today? I'll be glad to do that. You don't have to use standard indicators. You can use your own custom indicators. If you have a custom indicator, I can walk through the process of showing you how to integrate and use that. I didn't show you how the live scanner worked, so let me do that really quickly. Notice the scanner that I have on the screen right now. If I were to log in on my mobile app, my browser, my tablet device, or my phone to the MT4Professional members area, if you click on the real-time scanner button right there, this will take you to, right down here. This will take you to the scanners, the real-time live scanner setup. Select the account that you currently have running, and it will load up the scanner that you have currently on your screen. Notice the time frame and the symbols. And this is my browser. So that means I can be off at lunch somewhere, getting some coffee, maybe meeting with some friends. And I get an alert on my system that something happened. So maybe the dollar-yen neutral signal came in, getting ready to go back in line with the longer-term trend. So I'm going to click on this symbol here on my mobile device. Watch what occurs on my platform back in my office, even though I'm here at the coffee shop. I click on the dollar-yen. It changes the symbol to the dollar-yen and then takes a snapshot of the background and will display it here for me, showing me the conditions that were set up. Now notice the price closed below the 15-minute, but the trend is still long. So that's why I got a neutral signal on the 15-minute. My longer term signal is still bullish because my fast is greater than the slow and price is still greater than the price. So this is still very much bullish. Now, if this crosses down and comes back down to this point and this turns red, or maybe this turns yellow also, then this is a transition and I'm getting ready for a potential reversal. So that's the whole idea behind the scanner. It's alerting me to the fact that something's going on and I want to be ready for it. And I can look at it. I don't even have to be at my desk. I can sit here on my mobile device, see this setup, see the conditions that are there, and be ready for it when it occurs. All I have to do is just get on my mobile broker, click a few buttons, and I'm in the trade. It doesn't get any sweeter than that. So it absolutely works. Do you have that price crossover EMA setup that you could send me? Absolutely. This one right here. This is the this is price with the moving averages. So I can send this configuration to you. Okay. I can't seem to find you. Is this one you? All right, well, we'll check it and see. I'll send it, and you should receive an email, and you should receive notification within the system that I sent you a file. And when you click on the select configuration button, then scroll down to the bottom and you'll see an inbox. Then you'll see a notification and an actual configuration here that says Randy has sent you this setup configuration. All right. So when you click on the inbox, notice it doesn't allow you to edit it. It'll only allow you to look at it. So to create one that's identical, then all you have to do is click the create your custom configuration here. Scroll down, select the one that you want, pick yes, and then I'll make a photocopy of that exact same setup and file. Okay. If you don't want to save it, just click the X. If you want to save it, make some changes to it. So make sure the configurations are correct and so forth. Okay. Okay. Stuart says he wants 3 weeks for free instead of 2. Well, we don't have it set up for 2 weeks. And we only have it set up for 2 weeks, Stuart. Our whole system, our payment system, everything's all set up for 2 weeks. What can you do in 3 weeks that you can't do in 2 weeks? You can't make money in 2 weeks, but you can in 3 weeks. Okay. Funny guy. It's set up for 2 weeks, so take it or leave it. But it's there for you if you need it, if you want to do it and set it up. We'll be glad to work with you. We'll help you get it set up and help you get it going. Okay. Adios. At 1 week won't make a difference anyway, especially with an attitude like that. All right. Any other questions I can help you with? Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. Oh, wait, there was one question here. What are the best charts to use with the EMA and price? Well, you got the presets that come in there. I didn't see on the chat. I answered. Oh, there it is. RSI strategy. Okay, sorry about that. I did miss that one. Quite a few came through. Oh, and Peter, there's another one. Peter, I'm sorry. Wow, I missed quite a few of them. My bad. All right, so let's go back to Guy. Anything about RSI strategy? Yeah, I've got one here that has the RSI loaded in. I think that was this one here. Yeah, see this one incorporates the MACD. It also looks at a price moving average interaction, and it looks at the relative strength. Now, the relative strength idea is that when you get to a price level that's overbought, when it's greater than the 70 line, you see you have the signal, the confirmation, the overextension of price. Here's the sell point. So when you get price going greater than a 70 point, this is the point you're looking at selling. And then when you get your sell signal here, your crossover point here, and then below your 30 line, you sell at this point. So that's the idea behind using the relative strength as a exit indicator. You're exiting on strength, strength on a bullish trend, strength on a bearish trend. Second thing you can check for is the direction of your relative strength. So say, for instance, that you're looking for a signal, you want to make sure that your relative strength is positive, that you're increasing. Or if you're going short, you want to make sure that your relative strength is decreasing. So the scanner can be set up and configured for either of those conditions. I think I have this one set up to look for the trend. So the relative strength indicator is looking at the previous value. So 2, the relative strength indicator line 2, which is the shift. So I'm looking 2 bars back as opposed to 1 bar back. I'm looking for that 2 bar relative to this 1 bar. Yeah. To see if the slope is. So if my previous bar is greater than the current bar, I know it's moving down. And if the previous bar is less than the current bar, I know that it's moving up. So I know that my MACD has crossed below, that the price has crossed below my EMA, and that I'm on a declining relative strength. That's very bearish, and vice versa for the bullish setup. So that's the conditions that you would use for looking at the relative strength. And this, it's the simple, just add a 30 or a 70 and see if that relative strength is greater than 70 or less than 30. That's very, very simple. I think we even have some examples in there for that. Peter, let me see if that answered that. Okay, so Peter, I hope you're still here. What is for you the best indicator to see trend very early? Well, if you're looking for, it depends on your time frame. I mean, these are 4-hour and daily charts. You know, you can see them very smoothly, very easily. But if you're using a 1 minute, if you're using a 5 minute, 15 minute, it's all going to vary. But if you're looking for the trend, you know, the defined trend, then you're looking for multiple indications of that. Either price crossing below, you're looking for a potential change of trend, or you're looking for moving average crosses. So I personally like the MACD because it gives a pretty good indication of when the weakness has given back to the strength, or the strength has been given back into weakness. It does have a few periods of indecision that you can filter out with relative strength or with momentum. But for most of the time, I think I like the MACD as an indication for direction. The best charts to use. Let's see. Wait a second. What can I use this? Absolutely, Peter. Yeah, 1 hour or 4 hour. I have it set up on a 4 hour chart, but you can use it on a 1 hour. And if you added an additional 1 hour on there, then you can do it very easily just by simply clicking the scanner and just click the plus sign here. And notice you have 4 charts now: 4 hour, daily, weekly, and hourly. Select the same strong signal to turn it on. And then now you have it set up on an hourly. But these are the order that they're going to be showing up on your chart. So instead of changing them all, you can just sit and drag it back over. And so you have your hourly, 4 hour, daily, and weekly chart set up in this order on your scanner. If you're only interested in just the hourly and 4 hour, then just get rid of the other two, like so. And then only these two will be displayed on your scanner output. I'll cancel it out since I don't want to save any of the changes that I did. So yes, you can. Okay, so what are the best charts to use with EMA and price? M15, 1 hour, 4 hour? Well, I mean, it depends upon your trading style, because some people like the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute. Others like trading 5, 15, 30. So it depends upon your style, your techniques, whether you trade that on there. But the longer term is definitely the direction that you want to move. You want to try to go as long term as possible. The shorter term, you're just going to be trading inside the noise of the longer term anyway. So that's what I would recommend. If you like to trade the faster charts, then the EMA and price just simply shows you the interaction with that time frame. Here it's on a 4 hour. Let me see. Why it's doing that. Move this out of the way. I could set this up and look at it as a hourly chart, as a 30-minute chart, 15-minute chart. So you notice the interaction is still there. You're just getting a lot more interactions. 5-minute chart. See that? So now you're into the noise. So while at this point here, okay, this is a daily. You got a lot of 5-minute bars in a daily chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days down. But in here, you're looking at, every 2-3 minutes, you're getting in and out and trading. So it's all relative to who you are and what type of trader that you are. The sooner you can get to the trading the longer term charts, I think the smoother and easier it is would be to manage the trades. So Peter, you wanted me to send that to you, and then you can just do with it. I'll go ahead and do that. Thanks, Philip. Oh, what is your email? All right, I'll send it to you first while I'm waiting for Peter's email. I don't know why you didn't come up in the system unless you didn't come up as that. I don't have you in the system. Sorry, you have a different email you use that you're currently, because this only shows people who are currently either on trial or have a current open subscription. There you go. I know you do, Peter. Oh, you don't? Okay, then I won't be able to share it with you. Start if you start back a new subscription trial, then I'll be able to send it to you. Just send me an email and I'll be glad to send it to you, Peter. I think I just sent it to you. Did I not send it to the right one? Yeah, that's the same one. Yep, that's the one I sent it to. Right, yeah, so check it. You'll get an email, message, and notification in the system that you got it. Open the file up, select your own. When you select a configuration, click the Create Your Own Custom Configuration button, scroll down to the bottom to the inbox, and then click on the configuration that I just sent you, MyMacD. Yes, all right. Well, thank you very much for your attendance and your attention. We've gone about 15 minutes over, and that's okay. That's what I'm here for. So if you have any other questions or comments, then you can always go to support@mt4professional.com. Go over to the members area or log into the members into Resilience website, mt4professional.com. Go to the help and support link, or just use your email and type in the email address support@mt4professional.com. Thank you very much for your attention. You guys have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you at the exact same time in about 2 more weeks. Take care and bye for now.